Hello YouTube, hello UCC, and welcome back to week number 5 of our weekly show. Now, once again, as you can probably tell, there's face cam this week because once again, I'm doing this by myself again. So hopefully, you enjoy this mug while I go over all the week 5 games and all the trades and everything else. And maybe next week there'll be someone else here, and I won't be able to do this by myself because I know Ben is away. Checkmate Ben is away until I think a week or so. So I might have to do week 6 by myself as well. But I think hopefully when we get back out to week 7, I think it'll be go back to the usual suspects in Checkmate Ben and Dr. Slacking. So hopefully I can carry on what I did last week and provide you with all the information you need about UCC week number 5. Now, a few things to mention before we do begin. There has been 2 trades since last week. There's been 2 trades. The first of which is the Alcoholic Aloma Molars, who have traded away their Alolan Ninetales, which is Flow, which has not been updated here because people just don't get it. It's been inducted here, so it's fine, doesn't matter. But anyway, Alolan Ninetales, he dropped for Alolan Ninetales for Empoleon. Now, I like Alolan Ninetales because it's like, obviously, Aurora Veil shenanigans, but Empoleon is another defogger. Empoleon's a good defogger and a good like wall, so to speak. So I know he's got quite a defensive team. Just looking at it now in Gliscor, Snorlax, Tangrowth, Alomomola, Wobbuffet, and adding Empoleon to that is going to be quite a bulky team with obviously his threats in Mega Heracross, Blaziken, Hooper, and Jirachi, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I think that's a good trade on his part. Alolan Ninetales now just roaming on the free agent field. I'll be surprised if anyone doesn't snap that up in the coming weeks. So hopefully no one picks it up because I'm scared of this thing. And the other trade is, I don't know if I mentioned last week because I'm an idiot, I'm forgetful as memory as hell, but unfortunately Anthony and the Casting Cartanas had to drop out because he wasn't enjoying it. I do remember saying this before, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But anyway, I think this is the first game we're going to see where it's coached by Dr. Slacking himself, Dr. Slacking, who's taken over the Casting Cartana and is now being the Lake District Spirits. Now, he joined technically week 7, so he still has his draft. He still has Anthony's drafts for this week's game. And the week 6 game he plays me, but I bowled Anthony. But week 7 is going to be all Slacking from there on out. So it'll be a bit confusing because this week will be Slacking, next week will be Anthony, and the week after that'll be Slacking, and blah 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 blah. But anyway, so yeah. So before Anthony dropped out, he did make a trade this week. He dropped Swampert for Zygarde 10%. Now, I think that was a good trade because his team wasn't that fast, I don't think. And Swampert, well, normal Swampert's not as good like Mega Swampert, but it's still a good mon. But I prefer Zydoge because it's faster, hits harder, it's less frail, but I don't really like bulky mons. You could probably tell. But yeah, Zydog's a good trade for him. So yeah. So that is the trades. That's all the trades covered. All the trades are covered. Now, this week we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to cover. 7 week 5 games and 1 week 4 game. And so yeah. So let's start off with the week 4 game, which involves Scary Fluffy Thingies, coached by Berry, versus the Blazing Knights, coached by Jared. Now, I think both of these coaches at this point are on 0 wins. So I think at this point, yeah, both coaches are on 0 wins from Division 4. So whoever wins this game is probably going to pick up their first W. Where's my W? Where's my W? I can do this on UC Weekly. Pick up that W, and hopefully, fingers crossed, should be a good game. So Berry has brought Mega Banette, Regice, Thunderous, Jumpluff, Garchomp, Regirock, and Jared has brought Marshadow, Necrozma, Crobat, Corvitza, almost said Clauncher then, that's the baby one, Electivire and Toucan. Now, judging by matchups, Burnett hits the Marshadow and the Necrozma for super effect damage. Regice deals with the Toucan and the Crobat. Thunderous deals with the Crobat Corvitza. Jumpluff deals with Marshadow and the Corvitza. Garchomp deals with Electivire, and Regirock deals with the Toucan and the Crobat. Where I think if Jumpluff goes down, I think Marshadow can put in. No, actually, because Jumpluff Acrobatics is going to do some damage to it. Thunderous, I don't know if Thunderous gets a good flying type move. I don't think it does. So, if that's what I'm thinking. Necrozma can just eat hits for days, apart from the Mega Burnett. So Necrozma has got a pretty good matchup here if the Burnett is gone. But hopefully, should be a good battle. So let's jump into the battle and see what goes. So Beryl's Garchomp, these Corvitza, not a great matchup. Goes for the Scald, which does a lot to Yeti, which is a special wall. So I have no idea. Rock Polish, Regice, I love it. Switches straight back out into Garchomp. Gets that Rock Slide to slow down the. No, what? That's Rock Tomb. Never mind. I'll be quiet. Ice Punch, Electivire. Doesn't kill the Sharknado, but he switches that into Toucan, predicting the Earthquake, which he does. So that's always useful. He's using Beak Blast, Stone Edge. Oof. Dies. Beak Blast knocks out the Garchomp. The Ruskin doesn't knock it out because I thought in watching this battle that Beak Blast made contact. It doesn't. So yeah. So that's always useful. So Photon Geyser from the. Ooh, that did a lot to freaking Jumpluff. Now Leech Seed, paralyzed, +2 speed. Goes switch to Jared, switch out into Crobat. He goes for Strength Sap on the, which is quite. I didn't know Jumpluff got Strength Sap, so that's always interesting. Especially for Jumpluff. Did Jumpluff get Priority? I don't. No, it doesn't. It's just super fast. My bad. So he switches out. Leech Seed. There we go. Brave Bird's a Genie. -1. That's not doing a ton of damage. Leech Seed damage, all that residual damage from Berry side of the field. Going to Electivire, predicting the electric type move. Goes to a Nasty Plot. Now Electivire can do damage, except it can't because that Ice Punch did nothing to Regirock, being the defensive monster that it is. So Electivire Volt switches out into the Corvitza as he goes for the Stone Edge, which is solid 57-60% to the Corvitza. Goes out, predicting the Water type move. Goes for Aura Sphere, which does nothing to Kirby. So you switch out into Electivire. Goes for Leech Seed. Get all that Leech Seed damage back off. Shrimp Sap, so he can live an Ice Punch. Except he goes for the Volt Switch. And goes straight out into Marshadow. Goes for the Rock Tomb. Knocks out the Kirby because the Technician boosted Rock Tomb. Goes out into Ted. Choice Scarf into Rock Tomb. So Choice Scarf into Marshadow. So this Crobat comes out in the field. Thunder Waves. Crobat is already paralysed. So here comes the Z Supersonic Sky Strike onto the Mega Burnett. Ooh, barely lives on 5%. And down goes the Crobat. I don't know if that was a roll or not, but that was super damn close from killing. So then Mega Burnett just outspeeds and kills the Necrozma. Marshadow comes out and shows things. I think he should have done that beforehand and not killed the Necrozma like that. So Shadowlink does a bit of damage to the Genie. Genie sets up the +2 special attack as he swings that into Electivire, which he then goes for the Thunderbolt with that Motor Drive coming through. So I don't think this Genie can touch Electivire, which is not very good in prep, if I'm being honest. If it had like, I don't know, what can I have? So Electivire can Volt Switch out, back into the Marshadow. Stone Edge does nothing because it's resisted. Close Combat knocks out the Regirock. So Marshall's putting Rock on all the kills right now. So Genie's now super fast, super scary. Close Combat from this takes it down to about 30%. Goes out into Electivire, predicting the Thunderbolt as it goes for it again. Now can Genie hidden power? There we go. Critical hit and does nothing because Electivire is Assault Vested. Because Jared tends to like running Assault Vest Electivire. So Rock Slide does nothing. Weakness Policy +2/+2/+2 Regice is in the building. ice beaming things for days. Unfortunately for him, Marshadow does have Shadow Sneak. If it didn't have Shadow Sneak and it had like Thunderbolt for the Clawvitzer, Barry might have won that game. If there wasn't Shadow Sneak on the Choice Scarf, so he got to his Choice Scarf, Shadow Sneak. Interesting. Maybe it was. I think he brought Choice Scarf Shadow Sneak to outspeed Mega Banette. I don't know. Well, anyway, that was a good game. So Jared picked up his first W of the season thanks to Marshadow. So yeah, Marshadow and Electivire were MVPs for Jared in that game. Because Electivire pretty much walled the Thunderous, because all it had was Nasty Plot, Agility, Thunderbolt, and Hidden Power. And Hidden Power did like nothing to Electivire, so that's always nice. Marshadow racked up like 4 kills, I do believe, in that game. So Marshadow, even nerfed in this league without using Spectral Thief, can put in the work. So if I think if Jared utilises Marshadow more, he might be able to pick up some W's and hopefully get into the playoffs. So that was the week 4 catch-up game. The first game we have of week 5 is a group. So all these week 5 games are cross-group games because it's for that time. So we have from Division 1 we have the Crooken and Persimmon, coached by Ben, versus the teammate, the rival in my group, Group 2, Scale and Shamans, coached by Valter. Now, Checkmate Ben has brought Mega Altaria, Miltank, Mandibuzz, Moltres, Mamoswine, and Tentacruel, and Valter has brought Togedemaru, Landorus, Mega Gar. Is it Mega Gyarados? Is it Mega Gyarados? Does he have Mega Gyarados? Is it not Mega Gyarados? I think it's Mega Gyarados. I think it's Mega Gyarados. It is Mega Gyarados. It's Mega Gyarados. He's got Gardevoir, Zapdos, and Gengar. Now, Ben has brought loads of flying Pokemon in Mega Altaria, Mandibuzz, and Moltres. Mega Altaria doesn't really. Fairy only super effective on the Mega Gyarados, and Dragon's not super effective on anything. Togedemaru beats it. Gengar with like Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb can beat it. So Mega Altaria's not got the best matchup in my opinion in this game. Miltank obviously there to wall the Gengar, I guess, because it's scrappy. Gengar can't really touch it because it's fat wall, and Miltank can do the worst. Mandibuzz bulky, can take on the get some mons. Moltres is there for Togedemaru, I guess. Mamoswine puts in the work because he's obviously got 2 mons weak to Earthquake and a couple of mons weak to Ice Shards, so that's going to put in the work. And Tentacruel is there for, I guess, for hazards, and hazard removal. So that's, yeah, obviously Togedemaru puts in the work because he's got multiple flies. Togedemaru can put in the work. Landorus is always a threat. Landorus is just everywhere right now. In any format, Landorus is there. So Landorus is always great. Mega Gyarados can put in the work against this team if it's like got a couple of D-Dancers up. If it's got a D-Dance up, it could put in the work against the team. Obviously, Trace Gardevoir could work out nicely because he could put Hyper Voice on it, put Choice Specs on it, and trace the Mega Altaria and get Pixelate and wreck house if he does that. That's what I'm just thinking anyway. Because we've got Zapdos, obviously Bulkymon with Defog and whatnot to get rid of hazards from potentially the Mamoswine, the Tentacle, and the Miltank and the Mandibuzz. Pretty much most of Ben's team, besides the Moltres, I do believe, gets hazards on Mega Altaria, I do believe. Obviously Gengar is still a threat, even though it has not got Levitate anymore. It's still a threat, hits hard like a truck. So obviously the odds are in Ben's favour because he's obviously done better so far this season, I do believe. So let's see how this game goes. Okay, so Ben leads with the Tentacruel as he leads with Valdez with Togedemaru. Goes out into Miltank. Togedemaru goes for Fake Out, just pretty much nothing to this Miltank. He goes out into Zapdos. There's the rocks from the Miltank. So rocks are on the field. Ice Punch, critical hit. There's a static coming through. There's a Defog. Called it. Defog Zapdos. Called it. It's like basic knowledge. Zapdos Roost. Tried to get a power turn. Gets to the Defog. Get rid of those rocks again. Ice Punch is coming back with 30% damage. And he gets the freeze. Let it go. Let it go. First turn 4. goes for the Thunderbolt, so it doesn't, the freeze didn't really matter that much. So he goes out into his Mammoth Swine, putting the Thunderbolt. So then about to, I prefer to get to Gengar, Icicle Crash, there's the Sash. So it's Sash, Mega Gengar, if it's got Ice Shard, yep, that's, yep. So, Battle pretty much wasted Gengar there. So he fakes out on the Mandibuzz, Rocky Helmet Mandibuzz, goes into Gardevoir. It's not Trace, so it must be synchronized, which is very interesting. There's Sludge Bomb from Tentacruel, which does a ton of damage to the Gardevoir. So Gardevoir picks up a kill with Psychic on Tentacruel. You just easily Ice Shard for days. To get that to Gyarados, get the Intimidate drop off. Goes the Earthquake, which I think is a surprising play, because he's got 3 mons immune to Earthquake. And this is sure he's going to go out into Togedemaru, which I would never go out into Togedemaru on Mamoswine. Not at all. But that's just me anyway. It's okay. So Landorus with Mamoswine goes out, predicting the Ice Shard, which he does do. And now, predicting the Iron type move, Steel type move, Fake Out for days. Zing Zap does 32%. There's the Roost, not got the flinch on the Zing Zap. He's going for those flinches. As Mandibuzz U-turns out, goes out into Mamoswine, goes straight back out into this thing, goes for the Z move, Z Corkscrew Crash, does nothing to Mandibuzz. There's the Zing Zap. There's the Roost. There's the Miltank come back. Iron Head, so it has got Iron Head. Obviously Iron Head, Corkscrew Crash. Endeavour, people like using Endeavour these days. I don't know why, because it just gets walled by Ghost type. I mean, I don't think Ben has a Ghost type, so that's probably why he brought it. But Endeavour Togedemaru, unless it's, I have no idea. But this is going to be a long one because he's going for the power flinches right now with his Togedemaru. But it's a Miltank, so it's going to appear a while. Goes into Landorus, gets the attack drop off as the Miltank gets paralysed. Unfortunate. There's the Earthquake. Down goes the Miltank. Landorus, as always, puts in the work. Here comes the Landorus. Mamoswine threatens out Landorus with the Ice Shard, goes straight back out. Why did he not just Ice Shard just then? Because Ice Shard would have killed the Gardevoir. So I'm still confused why he didn't just kill the Gardevoir with Ice Shard. So Bloom Doom Moltres knocks out Gyarados, because Moltres does get Solar Beam, so that's always a useful tech to know. Moltres can get Bloom Doom. So the Landorus goes for the Rock Slide, knocks out the Moltres. Here comes an Ice Shard, pretty much kills the rest of the game, I do believe, because Gardevoir's on like no hit points. There's the Ice Shard. And Zapdos comes out, can't do anything. Icicle Crash outspeeds, Icicle Crash kills. Mamoswine picks up all the kills again. So Ben wins 3-0. Mamoswine, obviously, Mamoswine threatens that team very well, because Ice Shard deals with the Landorus and the Zapdos, Earthquake deals with Togedemaru and the Gengar, and the likes of, as soon as Gardevoir's on low health, it deals with that as well. The only problem is Mega Gyarados, but Moltres and Miltank, no, Moltres deal with that well with Z Bloom Doom, which I think is a very good tech, because no one would be expecting a Z Bloom Doom Moltres to hit the field. But anyway, so yeah, I think that makes Ben 3 wins, 2 losses, I think, so far. And Valter is on, obviously this is not right, but Valter's yet to win a game so far. So hopefully next week he can pick up one of these. Wherever I put it, there it is. Pick up one of these, and hopefully can do the work next week. So next game up, we have the beginning of Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, in the UCC, where he's using Anthony's team versus the Rabid Stumpfisk Epidemic. That's the one, versus the Lake District Spirits, but it's not the Lake District Spirits yet. You'll have to wait until week 7 until that ends. But they are easily casting Kartana. So, Ben, the coach of the Stunfisk Epidemic, Ben, has brought Uxie, Naganadel, Kamala, Mega Absol, Steelix, and Milotic, whereas the Dr. Slacking himself has brought Chandelure, Venomoth, Zydosh 10%, Dedenne, Hitmonchan, and Ferrothorn. Now, Chandelure hasn't got a very good matchup. Only beats the Uxie. Venomoth doesn't really beat anything apart from the Mega Absol. Zydoge beats a couple of his mons. Dedenne, don't know how good Dedenne is in draft, really. Puts in work against Milotic, I guess. Hitmonchan puts in work against most of his team. If that Uxie is gone, Hitmonchan can put in the work, and Ferrothorn is just there to stall, really. I don't see any fire moves on Ben's side of the field, besides, obviously, Fire Blast, Mega Absol, which he has brought before, which is a very interesting tech. So yeah, so judging by matchups, Naganadel is always a threat. Kamala can put in the work. Mega Absol hits like a truck. Steelix, Milotic, and Uxie never die. Whereas this team, I'm not confident. I don't like these two. I don't like Venomoth and Dedenne. I don't know why. They just don't appeal to me in draft. Chandelure, obviously I've got in the GPC, can put in the work. Psydox is the newbie on the squad, can put in the work, and Ferrothorn is just evil. So yeah, so let's jump into this game and see how it goes. So leads off with Steelix versus Venomoth. Their toxic spikes hit on the field. Fire Fang from the Steelix does tons of damage, and that sleep powder miss was very crucial because obviously it wouldn't be killed by Fire Fang. There comes a Drain Punch from the Hitmonchan. Steelix, weakness policy Steelix, Earthquake. Get out. That is a beautiful, beautiful tech. Because Steelix defense are off the scale. Knew it could live a Drain Punch from the Steelix. Bang, Earthquake, gone. So yeah, so Steelix gets revenge killed by the Zydoge. But Ferrothorn comes out, walls the Milotic. All the hazards are here right now. Stealth Rocks, Thunder Wave, paralysing the Uxie, which is very unfortunate because Slacking can just 5-stack right now. Has the Fire Punch for the Ferrothorn. There's an Ochre Berry to Durable T-Wave. Because Durable T-Wave makes Durable less damageable. That's all. Okay, so Kamala's now on the field. Comatose, who cannot be poisoned by toxic spikes, goes out into Chocolate Dedenne as he goes for the Volt Switch out into, I believe, the Ferrothorn, yes, and the Kamala goes for Earthquake, the 20%. Bulk up from the Kamala as he more hazard stacks are on the field as he bulks up again as he goes for the Durable, does nothing. The Ayapapapapa Berry, Sword Commands help up to full health. There's a Shadow Claw. There's Iron Bar damage. Kamala putting in the work right now. Here's the Dedenne. Natural Gift does nothing to Kamala. Earthquake just knocks out. Kamala putting in the work. Chandelure, it's got Shadow Claw. But there's the Fire Blast. If that missed, that could have been... Kamala could have swept. Out comes Mega Absol to deal with this. All the hazard stacking. Goes out into Zydoge. So he Mega Evolves and probably goes for the Sucker Punch. Oof. It's unfortunate. 1,000 Arrows. Knocks out Mega Absol. See, Zydoge is a threat. Uxie is here. 1,000 Arrows. Eat that out because it's an Uxie. It live for days. Shame Uxie is asleep. So here comes Chandelure, making beneficial of the sleep turns on the Uxie. The Hex knocks out the Uxie because it's asleep, obviously. Good, interesting tech from that part. The Hex again. Ooh, Naganadel lives on 4%. The Special Berry comes out, and Dragon Pulse knocks out the freaking... Elevates the Berry. Extreme Speed from the Zygote does this threat, and now it's just Zydoge versus Milotic. And Milotic can pretty much just kill with Ice Beam, and that's game. So that's a very close game. I think that was Ben's first win of the season, which is very good for him because obviously he hasn't been competing competitively since he was last in the league, which I do believe was season 4 or 5. That's freaking that long ago. That's long ago. That's before Ultra Sun. That's before Sun and Moon come out. Was he in 5? I think it was in. I think it was season 4. Was his last season? I think it was in season 2, season 3, season 4. I don't think he was in the first season of Gen 5. Gen 5, season 5, Gen 7. Wild. So yeah, so that's that game. Obviously that was Slacking's first game. in the UCC with a team he did not create, but to be fair, Ben's team he didn't create either because the Fox team drafted it and immediately dropped out because of uni stuff. So, yeah. So, hopefully in Slacking's first game with his new team, which that drops in week 7, he can start picking up some of these and make the league very interesting and see how he does in that league. So yeah, that also helps me because Dr. Slacking is now in my group, so the more wins, the more losses my group gets, the better for me. Now next up we have the leader of Group 2 in the Swindon Swifts, coached by Sean, versus Alan, second place member in Group 1, coached by Alan and the Slowbros. So, this matchup obviously very interesting because Alan has brought Vanillux, Embor, Tapu Koko, Mega Pinsir, Slow King, and Hawlucha, where Sean has brought Mega Scizor, Kingdra, Politoed, Goodra, Dragonite, and Chatsy. So, Sean has brought Semi-Rain in Politoed, Kingdra. Also, Hydration Goodra with Rest can put in the work. Water, when the rain's up, Fire doesn't do as much damage to Mega Scizor, so that's always good. And obviously, Dragonite can get Thunder and stuff like that. So, Sean has brought a rain team. He likes his rain teams. Sean loves his rain teams. So, if you're battling Sean, you must expect rain, 9 times out of 10. So, I think Alan has dealt with that with the Tapu Koko to hit all his water types, which is 2 of them. And Tapu Koko's got a fantastic matchup right now. Besides the Scizor and the Chansey, it puts in the work. Embor is obviously there for the Scizor, but if it's in the rain, won't do as. I mean, it goes to 2 times super weak, and Scizor's quite bulky, so it should be able to live 1 hit from. I don't know if it will actually in the rain live a reckless. If it's choice banded, it will not live it, even in the rain. A choice band reckless flare blitz from Embor, no, you're not living that. So yeah, and then Vanillux is obviously there to send out the hail to try and stop the rain shenanigans, and obviously Mega Pinsir puts in the work with quick attacks and stuff, hit like a truck. Hawlucha with its seed, if it's electric seed whatnot, can put in the work against the team as well. So my money, if Alan can kill the Scizor and the Chansey early, and Tapu Koko still at full health in the back, I think Alan's got this. But that's. Why on earth was that so loud? My goodness. Anyway, back to normality. Okay. First turn, Goodra goes for Draco on the Mega Pinsir, takes it down to pretty much zero, thin bit of health. I'm still shocked by that freaking music, by the way. My goodness. So Mega Scizor U-turns out on the Embor, goes out into Politoed. So, yep, there's Embor on the field right now. So he goes out into Slow King. As Politoed goes for Protect. Switch out into Goodra as he goes for Future Sight. Very interesting. Power Whip from the Goodra. Dragon Tail from the Slow King. Switches out into the Chansey. Goes out to Mega Pinsir. Chansey goes for the Toxic, which isn't great because that Future Sight did nothing to Chansey. So this Mega Pinsir is pretty much dead next time it hits the field, unless it can get the poison off it. Or he's got a Wish Healer, but I don't think he does. Out comes the Dragonite. On the super power from the Embor, that does a lot of damage. Being a resisted hit, it's got to be choice banded. To Dragonite, wild. Extreme Speed knocks out the Mega Pinsir, which is very unfortunate because Mega Pinsir is probably one of his most physical threats on his team. Extreme Speed does 50% to freaking Tapu Koko. So Volt Switch takes out the Dragonite. Out comes the Politoed with Rain again. So he goes for Protect, he goes for the Wild Charge. So scout the Wild Charge, goes out into Mega Scizor on the Wild Charge. Does 47%, which is kind of wild. So he then switches it back out into Goodra as he goes for the Wild Charge again. Does 40% that time. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All that damage. Sludge Wave does nothing. Wild Charge knocks out the Goodra. Embor is putting in the finest of work right now. the finest. Here comes the Kingdra, which will outspeed. Goes for Draco Meteor, that does 46%. Goes out into Chansey. He switches that into Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko goes to Reflect as Chansey goes for Wish. Volt Switch out, doing no damage whatsoever because of Chansey, for goodness sake. Poisons the Emboar. Chansey's back to full health. Chansey and Blissey are so freaking annoying. The Reflect is up. Goes for Protect. Emboar goes for Taunt. So, yeah, that's always useful. Goes out into Politoed as the Emboar goes for the Superpower. Politoed barely survives on 10%. Toxic damage is stacking up. Switches that into Slowking. Goes for the Skull, does pretty much nothing. Toxic. Dragon Tail. It lives, Politoed lives, but next time it's out in the field, unless he can get the rocks away on Sean's side of the field, it is gone. Out comes the Tapu Koko. As the Sizzle goes for Roost. Goes out Chansey. Back on the field as it goes for Volt Switch. Does nothing because it's freaking Chansey. Goes out into Yep, there's the Seed. There's the Electric Seed Torlucha. Goes for the Swords Dance. Oh my goodness. High jump kick. Knocks out the freaking Chansey. Here comes the Mega Scizor. Gives a Bullet Punch. Does not a lot of damage. Acrobatics knocks out the Mega Scizor. Out comes the Politoed. Dives to Rocks. Out comes the Kingdra. Acrobatics knocks this thing out. And that is a Hawlucha sweep end game. GG to Alan for picking up the W against the Swindon Swifts. Hawlucha put in the funds to work. So did Emboar, to be honest. Emboar made sure Hawlucha could sweep late game by doing all the damage to Politoed and likes of Scizor and Gudra and whatnot. So yeah, I don't think Vanillux actually touched the field on Sean's side of the side. Not Sean's, Alan's side of the field. So yeah, so I thought losing Mega Pinsir early may have swung the game in Sean's hands, but Alan pulled it back with obviously Koko, Hawlucha, and Emboar, and Slowking as well, and Vanillux, even though it was just in the back going, woo, woo, ice cream. But yeah, anyway, so that is game number 3, I do believe, over and done with. No, it's game number 4. Game 3 of week 5. Next up, we have my game, which you can see on my channel, if I can find a freaking... Can't find a plug. God freaking damn it. But plug to the channel in the description down below where you can see my full commentary on this game. Team builder as well, and whatnot. So, I made a doohickey. You've heard probably week 4 game. In week 4, I battled the wrong person. I battled Alan, and that week I had to battle Sean, and I don't even play Alan this season. So that was that's a good game. I've still left a comment on that Sean video on my channel. If it gets to 5 likes, I will upload the missing game versus Alan on the UCC channel. Because it's been recorded, all of it's done, it's all edited, it's just sitting there on my computer waiting to be uploaded. So it needs 5 likes. 5 likes on that video. It will be up on the UCC channel. As soon as that video hits 5 likes, I'll go, right, upload. So this week, I built for the One Guys Elliot's team. Because in week 1, I helped them team build against, when the Phosphok team was still in it. And I had his team on my handy-dandy spreadsheet. And thought, okay, right. So I helped him team build and whatnot. Then 4 weeks later, we ended up battling week 5, and I pretty much went, Elliot's stuff is already on my handy dandy spreadsheet. I might as well just use that. No. Unfortunately for me, he'd made 2 trades since then, and well, I built for the wrong team. And one mon on this team, on this screen, I didn't even know he had until like 20 minutes before the battle where I could not rearrange and do anything like that. So yeah, that, don't want to spoil it, but it's already on my channel, so it's been spoiled anyway. But yeah, so we drafted Lycanroc and another mon, which is not here anymore, or not, it didn't bring. So I was when I first saw it, and I thought, oh god. In the preview, I said, oh god, if he brings Lycanroc, I am screwed. Look what's on my screen. Lycanroc is right there. So I brought Blacephalon, Tyranitar, Mega Aerodactyl, Sylvally. I can't remember what type I brought. What type did I bring Sylvally? I can check because I have my team on my showdown, which I can just double check right now. Electric, Rotom, and Vaporeon. And the one guy brought Thundurus, Lycanroc, Hue Black, Nidoking, Gligar, and the Suicune. Now, on the matchup, I thought, right, Lycanroc, what can Lycanroc do to my team? Kill all of it besides Vaporeon. Yes! That's great, because Vaporeon can easily do damage to a Lycanroc. I thought, Lycanroc is just going to screw me up for this entire game. If it's Scarfed or Banded, I am done. I am freaking done. Thundurus is his main killer. That puts in the work against Vaporeon. So if Vaporeon's gone, I've lost the game. Because I can't touch Lycanroc otherwise. That's annoying. Q and Black, obviously, Tyranitar, well, I can deal with that. Nidoking. Ironically, Z Dream Eater Rotom deals with Nidoking. Gligar, obviously, I've got Ice Beam on the Vaporeon and whatnot, and Electric, Sylvally and Rotom can deal with the Suicune. So, yeah, that's my team. I was freaking scared of this first two mons, and Suicune, and Nidoking, and a Q and Black, and a Gligar. Super scary team because, as always, Mr. One Guy is unbeaten so far this season, and I was nervous saying, oh, I just lost to Sean that week before. I was going, oh no, what am I going to do now? I've lost 2 in a row now. Am I going to make it 3 in a row? So let's see. So I lead with Darude. You lead with Lycanroc Dusk. Goes for the Choice Scarf Brick Break. Tyranitar's dead turn 1. I thought, oh my god, this is over. So presumed he was Choice Scarfed or Choice Banded. So I Will-O-Wisp the Q and Black, buffed by the Sandstorm damage. I then go for the Volt. I go out into Drencher. He goes for the Dragon Claw, which is good job I burnt it, because if it's a physical variant, that's much better. So he goes out into Suicune as I go for the Protect. See what this, just to scout out what was going to happen. So he goes for the sub Suicune, which is annoying. So I go HP Electric, which doesn't even break the freaking substitute. And he poisons the Vaporeon, and I go for the Wish, which is freaking annoying because go out into Frankenstein, and he goes for the Ice Beam. Does nothing because we're specially bulky Sylvally toward the Suicune. Toxic. Ice Beam breaks the sub. Goes for the substitute as I go for the Thunderbolt. Puts in the most. He's going to switch out now into the Lycanroc as I go for Draco Meteor, which doesn't do a lot to freaking Lycanroc. So I switch out and go out into Drencher. Go for the Stone Edge. And it OHKO's freaking Drencher. And that's just like, okay, Lycanroc can just win the game right now. He can just win the game. And that Shadow Ball did absolutely nothing to Suicune. So I go back into Frankenstein and it goes for the Scold. And yeah, this is just a downhill game from here because I could not touch the Lycanroc because it outsped all of my team apart from Mega Aerodactyl. So I switched out predicting the Earthquake, and he goes for the Thunderbolt on the Mega Aerodactyl, which is quite annoying. Goes out into this thing, I go for the Shadow Ball. Another one does kill, which is nice. That does kill, so down goes to get the +1 Beast Boost. He goes out into this thing. Scared of the Sucker Punch, so I go out into Frankenstein. He does reveal the Sucker Punch. So I switch back out into Hemoglobin. He goes for Sucker Punch again. Again into Thundurus as I go for the Will-O-Wisp. on the Thunderous, burn it, goes for Dark Pulse, and just pretty much wrecks the rest of my team with freaking this thing. Because Dark Pulse will kill this thing, and I'll go into Blacephalon, and I'll kill that thing. So yeah, that was GG to Mr. the one guy. Lycanroc, put in the work. Thunderous, put in the work. Suicune, put in the work. Gligar didn't even touch the field. Because I don't know, if I built something for the Lycanroc, I think I still would have lost, but I wouldn't have lost by 5-0. It would have been like 4 or 3-0. But that's just, yeah. So hopefully next week I won't muck up and do something wrong. I will though. But that's not the point. So yeah. So Thunderous is still wrecking lives in this league. Could put a one guy. This is first season it's been drafted as well, and I think it's like 4th or 5th in the MVP, which is kind of wild right now. Kind of wild. So yeah, that was. If you want more on that game, go and check out it on my channel for all the work. And 5 likes on the short video, and the Alan game, the missing Alan game, will be up on the UCC channel as soon as it hits it. Good. Right. Next up, we have your boy, Get Parrot Rob versus Tony and the Canterbury Conkelders. Now, Rob is second in Group 2, whereas Tony is second in Group 4. So these two are currently battling for the wildcard spots in Division 3/4. So, very important game. So, Tony has brought Rotom Mow, Tornadus, Mew, Umbreon, Primarina, and Miss Magius, whereas Rob has brought Linoon, Circuitry, Florges, Celesteela, Hitmontop, your boy Blade, and Smeagol's. So, judging by this matchup, Celesteela just so annoying. I hate Celesteela so much, but Rotom Mow, I think, is his only answer to it, because then you went to Electric and Fire. Stab-wise, I'm just going off stab-wise. I know probably like Mew can get Flamethrower and all that stuff, but stab-wise, Rotom is the only thing that can deal with it. Florges, nothing really touched Florges. Kind of interesting. Circuitry doesn't have a strong ground Earthquaker for that. Hitmontop, obviously got Mew and Primarina for that, and the Tornadus, Thunderous, Tornadus. Yes, Tornadus, because Thunderous is the blue one, Tornadus is the green one. Smeagol can just be sporing, stick up webs and all that and shenanigans, but he's got Mew as a defogger, Rotom as a defogger, he's got Thunderous as a defogger, so he should be fine. And Belly Drum Linoon can put in the work, besides Miss Magius, but I do think it's Shadow Claw, so we should be okay with that. So, let me turn the music off, otherwise my ears are going to explode again. So let's jump into this game and see how it goes. So, Rob leads with Celesteela as he leads with Tornadus. U-turns out into the Rotom as he poisons the Lawnmower. Poisons that Lawnmower. Protect to get some toxic damage off as he goes for the V-Switch on the Celesteela. So, Volt Switch is out, does 40%. Goes into Primarina. It goes for the Leech Seed, this is what Celesteela does. Sits there, stalls out for days. Get back out into this thing. Goes for the Protect. Goes for the Protect again to rack up all the toxic damage on this Rotom Mow. Rotom Mow is just sitting there, burns this Celesteela, as you do. Leech Seed, immune to it. Immune. Poison damage, racking up. Goes out into Mew. Leech Seed. Celesteela just wants to watch the world burn. Volt Switch on the Mew. Straight out to Primarina. There's the toxic damage. Everything is toxic. This Celesteela is just walling things for days. So it's got Protect, Leech Seed, Toxic, and something else as its moveset. So yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? So it goes out into Florges. Scald does absolutely nothing, because Florges is a bulky mother trucker. Moonblast does a lot of damage to you, freaking Tornadus. U turns out into, I'm guessing, the Mew, yes. Wish, Volt switches out into, that doesn't zero, into Tornadus. Gets in the Moonblast, knocks out the Tornadus, goodbye. Florges is back to full health. As you do, as you do, as you do. Misses the Will-O-Wisp, goes for the Moonblast, does 41%. Will-O-Wisp burns the freaking Florges. Mew's down to 7%, which is quite annoying. Roosts up. Heal Bell gets rid of that burn. Gets rid of that burn on everything. So Florges is just here, taking lives right now. Outstalling Tony's entire team, as it does with the Florges. Because most of his ones are special attackers. Yeah, Mew special, Rotom special, Primarina special, Miss Maggie's is special, and Umbreon isn't really an attacking mon, so Florges can just wall the rest of his team right now. Unless he's got like Sludge Bomb somewhere. That does a ton of damage, even to Primarina. There's the Wish damage, and Primarina will die to Toxic next turn. Goes out to Mew again. There's the Wish. Volt switching away, out into Miranda. That dies to Moonblast. Goodbye. Florges gets another kill. Goes into this thing. Leaf Storm does nothing. Here comes the Moonblast. Down goes Rotom Mo. That's 3 kills for Florges. Next up we got Miss Magius. Shadow Ball. Does nothing. Wish. Back up to full health. Goes into Lily. Gets the Moonblast. Is a solid 2 kill on the Mew. Gets a special attack drop. There goes the Wish coming through. Roosting away. Wish. Florges is just going to sit here. And does as it does. Goes out and decides either putting the Earthquake, which is very useful because he went for the Earthquake, but that's fine. Everything is poisoned and burnt, which is always nice. So he was on the field. Volt switches out, I'm guessing into Umbreon. Yep. Leech Seed. The Umbreon is seeded, which is the best way to see a Umbreon. My goodness. Goes out into Florges again. The wall itself. The wall that will not drop to any of these mons. There's the Wish. Goes out into Mew. Moonblast, we know, is a 2-ko from that range, so this next Moonblast should kill. Goes out into this thing though. Moonblast nearly OHKOs that as well. It's I know it's weak to it, but it's a freaking Umbreon. Goes out to Lily. Moonblast, goodbye Mew. Then it goes out into goodbye Umbreon. And then Miss Magius, I don't know what that health Miss Magius was on, 100%, but goes out into Linoon. There's the Thunderbolt. There's the Para. Goes back out into Florges. Thunderbolt. There's another Thunderbolt and Moonblast. There's the Wish. There's the Thunderbolt. There's the Moonblast. There's the Heal Bell, sorry. All this. Rob has only done this because he wants Linoon to get a kill. He's just putting Florges on, Miss Magus on low health. He wished away, didn't want to risk it, so Florges is down, and Rob picks up the 6-0 victory against the Canterbury Conkelders, which, as so far, is the Conkelders' only loss, and it's a 6-0 loss. So GG to Rob. Rob is now pretty much, I want to say guaranteed. I'm not guaranteed, but it's going to be likely he's going to make the wild card slots as well after that victory. So yeah, Florges definitely put in the work for Rob in that team, picking up 6 kills. Wasn't really expecting Florges to be the one to get the sweep at the end. It wasn't a sweep, was it? Because it killed some mons. Good shout. Killed some mons. Good shout. Because if Tony had brought a physical attacker, he may have done better, because his only physical attacker on that team was none of them, because they were all special. They were all special attackers. So one special ball just ruins that team like that. So if he brought a physical attacker, which would have been, if he had brought Arcanine or Rhyperior, Garbodor would have been a great shout for the Florges, Gunk Shot and whatnot. Well, hopefully, I don't think they play. Do they? I don't. No, they don't, because they're not in the same group. They don't play each other again. So you can't learn from this and bring a Garbodor, because that Mon would have taken Rob to the trash can. That was bad. But anyway, the penultimate game is Alcoholic Alomomolas, coached by Flo, versus Emperor Amp himself, Emperor Amp 930, the man who uploads to the UCC channel. Definitely go and check out his games in the description down below, because I do believe this game is up there as well, in depth, just like mine. So if you want more detail about this game, make sure you check it out in the UCC channel. Now, both these, I think Alcoholic Alomomolas is currently winning Division 4, and Josh is third place, quite a way off getting into the wildcard slots, because he is 6 points behind currently Rob in those wildcard slots, and the Canterbury Conquerors coached by Tony. So if Emperor Amp wants to get into the playoffs, he's got to start winning some games, and this is where he needs to start. So hopefully we'll see how this game goes, shall we? So Amp leads with the Pheromosa on the Jirachi. U-turns out into the Crocodile as it goes for the Stealth Rocks, because Rocks seem to be quite a decent check for Amp's team right now, especially with Pheromosa, Staraptor, whatnot. So he puts the Ridiculous to sleep. It's getting me sleepy now. My goodness. Out comes Mega Heracross. Pin Missile just wrecks Baby Bat's life. And goodbye, Reuniclus. And comes out the Staraptor. He switches out into Alomomola. He goes for the Brave Bird. Does solid damage to Alomomola. This fish is freaking fat if it can take that really well. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Anyway. So, Alomomola puts in the work. Goes out into Hooper. He goes for the Brave Bird. Oko's the Hooper. So Staraptor picks up a kill there on the Hooper Unbound. Brave Bird kills itself out to Brave Bird Recoil, as the Alomomola just goes for Wish. So goes into Aurorus. He's just going to protect, and Alomola's back to full. Oh no, he's not. Goes into Jirachi. So Audrey goes for Rock Polish. Amp's favourite set, Rock Polish Aurorus. Goes for the Earth Power. Does nothing to Jirachi. Iron Head knocks it out because it's quad weak to it. So Jirachi picks up a kill there. Goes out into the Tiny Ninja as it goes out into Tangrowth. And this goes for Sacred Sword, which does not a lot of damage because it's a freaking Tangrowth. So he switches it back out into Barry. Get the Intimidator off on that. Hidden Power does nothing. Ulti HP Fire for the Kartana, I'm guessing. It goes for Knockoff, knocks off that Rocky Helmet. As it goes for the Giga Drain, kills the Crocodile, and I think this is pretty much. I don't see Amp getting back from this range. X-Scissor does nothing. HP Fire knocks out the freaking Kartana. Oxymoron's here. Can Oxymoron sweep? It can kill the Tangrowth, I guess. Gets a +1 speed boost. Oh no! U-turn, high jump kick doesn't do enough. Close combat just wrecks lives. Because close combat for Mega Heracross, you're not living that, especially when you're a Pheromosa and your defences are paper thin. So that was a GG to the Alcoholic Alomomolas, who are currently running away. They're 3 points ahead, but they're winning Division 4. So yeah, those hazards put in some work. I think. I don't even know. You have to be more careful of the freaking Mega Heracross, because as soon as you have to keep, I think if he kept Staraptor alive longer, and Staraptor could have put in the work against this team, especially if he was a scarfed Staraptor, he would have outsped pretty much most of his team. Besides the Blaziken, obviously, if he had a couple of speed boosts up, and would have put in the finest of work. So obviously these guys don't play against each other again like all these games. These are only going to be played once unless they meet each other in the playoffs. If I think I don't even know anymore. Uh, so yeah, I think if he utilised, if Amp utilised Staraptor a bit more, I think he may have come away with a better result than he did do in that game. Now, last but not least, we have the last game of Week 5, technically, because one's still not been played yet, but I do believe that's being played very soon, so you'll be able to see that game in Week 6 update. Now, last game is his second game on this week's show. We have the Blazing Knights coached by Jared playing Jack, coach of the Beverly Mudsdale. Now, Beverly Mudsdale, as with the one guy, Michigan Me and Xiao, are the only two teams unbeaten so far this season. And one of these teams, and these teams need to be stopped to stop having an unbeaten season. Now, Jack has brought Jolteon, Dugtrio, Greninja, Sylveon, Skarmory and Mega Venusaur, whereas Jared has brought Breloom, Victini, Bronzong, Crobat, Scrub Flygon and Galvantula. Now, judging by matchups, Jolteon puts in the work against the Crobat, Dugtrio puts in the work against the Victini, and that's about it. Greninja puts in the work against most things because it's Protean, can put in a lot of damage. Sylveon can do damage against the Scrub and the Breloom. Skarmory can just wall pretty much most of that team besides the Victini, and Mega Venusaur once again can wall pretty much most of that team besides the Crobat and the Mega and the Victini. So odds are on the beginning of the game. My odds are on Jack to win because obviously he's unbeaten. Jared yet to win a game, so the odds are in his favour. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? And see what we can do in this game. So leaves with Sylveon, leaves with the Galvantula, gets those sticky webs up. Moonblast does a ton of damage to freaking Galvantula as the Galvantula Volt Switches out into the Bronzong. As it goes with the Moonblast, does nothing to Bronzong. Gets a special attack drop on that Bronzong. Goes for the Baton Pass out into Mega Venusaur. He goes for the Gyro Ball, does nothing. So Gyro Ball, sticky webs. Okay, gets those rocks up on that side of the field. He goes out into Skarms. Breloom switches out into Crobat. Goes for the Endure. And for the Taunt. Endure, Skarmory. I like it. Weak Armor Skarmory. Okay then. Night Flash. It's a physical Skarmory. My goodness. So he goes out into Mega Venusaur on the Bronzong. He goes for the Gyro Ball. He goes to Protect on the... He goes for the Leech Seed, trying to seed that Bronzong down. Out into Breloom. Misses the Leech Seed, wouldn't matter anyway because it's a grass type. Goes out into Crobat Man. There's the Leech Seed paying off. Goes out into Lord Shen. As it goes for the U-turn, the weak armor activates, and he goes out into Bronzong. We developed the Night Flash, but doesn't go for it. Goes out to Cooper Beach. In the Mega Venusaur, Gyro Ball's away. Suppose Crobat comes out, knock off. So doesn't rely on it, so it must be holding a Z move of some description. Crobat roosts back up again. Goes out into Bronzong yet again. The Skarmory Sword Stance gets the +3. And it's now super fast. +3, +2 speed, no defense. Night Slash. Oko's the Bronzong. Gets hit by that Rocky Helmet. There's the Ayapa Berry. Here comes Breloom. There's the Mach Punch. Doesn't do a lot of damage. Goes for the Drill Peck. Goodbye Breloom. Goes for the Drill Peck over the Brave Bird to down goes the Crobat. My goodness. Scrub is here. Scrub dies. Goodbye. Victini. Nice Slash. He lives on 1%. As he goes for Blue Flare and knocks out the frickin' Skarmory. Here comes Clank. Trapped by Arena Trap, I guess. Blue Flare. Gets a crit. Knocks out the frickin' thingy. Victini's here now. Sylveon's on the field. Blue Flare. There's the Moonblast. Down goes the frickin' Victini. Out comes it's all on Galvantula now. Volt Switch doesn't kill. Moonblast does. And Jack wins 4-0 versus the Blazing Knights. Now, that Skarmory set, my goodness, was very, very good. Because weak armor plus weak armor sword stance, no one was expecting that. and he put Drill Peck on there over Brave Bird so he can not take the recoil. He cannot take recoil, especially when he's not lowering his defense every time he gets hit. So Jack tends to bring some very interesting sets, to say the least. They all pay off. Obviously, the Jolteon set he brought against me for the Ditto was amazing. That Skyrim set was great. So I'm expecting big things from Jack this season. And yeah, that's all the games we have covered so far for week number 5 of UC Weekly. Now, as you can see, this table's a bit like, in advance, a bit in advance from week 5, but we can have a look at it anyway. So far, the 4 coaches going through automatically to the playoffs are Michigan Mienshao, coached by Elliot, with 7 wins so far out of 7, 42 knockouts, 10 feints, unbeaten so far this season. Champions Division 2 is the Swindon Swift, coached by Sean, who's only lost 1 game so far this season, which I do believe is against the Michigan Mienshao, with rocking 18 points, 18 differential, 36 kills, 18 deaths. Top quality battling. Group 3, we have the other unbeaten coach in Jack, Beverly Mudsdale, with 8 games, 8 wins, 48 kills, 18 feints, 24 points. So both coaches are unbeaten, but Jack has 8 more feints than Elliot, but he's played 1 more game. So even if Elliot wins a 5-0 game, wins 1-0 or 0-0 game, he will still have less feints than Jack. So that's always nice to know. And in Group 4, we've got the Alcoholic Alone Molars, coached by Flo, with 2 losses so far, with 34 kills, 18 feints, 16 differential, 15 points. Now, for those playoff spots, it's the coaches. Most of the coaches in Division 1 are going through to the playoffs, because Ben is on 6 games played, 4 wins, 2 losses. And Alan's also on 6 games, 4 wins, 2 losses. But that's wrong, because Ben should be in second place in that division by differential. Yep, there we go. So far from Conference 1, Twickenham Simeon, Slowbros, and Twickenham Simeon and Slowbros are going through, because they're on 6 games, 4 wins, 2 losses. I'm on 6 games, 3 wins, 3 losses. I am the closest person to knocking out either Alan or Ben out of the wildcard slots in the group, because I am so far off. I'm so far off Sean in first place, with 3 wins behind. I don't see Sean losing that many games between now and the end of the season. So I need to catch up to either Alan or Ben. Those 2 play next week, or technically this week, but Ben's away. So when that game gets done, whoever loses that game is my main rival to try and overtake and get into the wildcard slots. And the wildcard slots in Division Conference 2 are the Canterbury Conquerors and the Get Power X, because they're both on 12 points. Their nearest rival is Josh on 6 points, who's played 8 games, 2 wins, 6 losses. So unless Rob and Tony start losing some games, I think those positions are pretty much set in stone, I want to say, for those divisions. So yeah, so that's the division tables for this week. MVP so far, these are the top 20 mons ever in freaking Draft League. Now, Mega Scizor got some kills. Did Mega Scizor get some kills this week? I think it did. So Mega Scizor is up here battling out for first place. 2 points, 2 differential ahead of any other Pokemon that's actually currently in draft format right now. Thunderous, Michigan Mienshao, this is just this season. It's freaking ridiculous. Plus 17 already. My goodness. Celesteela, stupidly bulky. Marshadow puts in the work. Excadrill, Mamoswine, Kingdra, Ludicolo, Zygarde, Tabrolele, Nidoking, Ashman Ninja, King Black, Manivaz, Mega Prince of Tapu Koko. So all these mons are the scary mons. As you can probably tell, the two coaches. You don't say, oh, the two coaches unbeaten must have some mons in the top 20. Mr. Michigan Mincho has 4. Mr. Beverly Mudsdale, his highest mon is Sylveon in 48th place, which is kind of wild. So he must, I think it's because he drafted mons which were lower down and put good use to them. They were lower down because like likes of freaking, I don't know what his best mon is this season. Let's have a look. Where's the drafting score? Where? Where is it? Where, oh where, has that table gone? Why can't I find it? Knockouts, no. Well, that's weird. I can't see it. Anyway. Is it gone? I'll have to see where that it's gone. Oh, it's there. What's it doing there? What's it doing there? Anyway. Sozzard for that. Mega Venusaur is his highest killer, but I think because it was quite the way down the list, it can't be that low, surely. If it's got +9 this season so far. I have to wait and see what we... orange. There's Jolteon. There's Ninjask. It can't be that far down, surely. There's Dugtrio. There's Mudsdale. Where's this goddamn Mega Venusaur? There it is. It's a +9 this season. It's now over 1. So it was a -8. If it was a -8, it would have been freaking all the way down here at the bottom. So he's making Mega Venusaur up the board, which is fantastic. So yeah, I think that's all I need to cover this week for this UCC Weekly. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always down below. Where next week we'll get on to week 6. We'll try and get this thing catched up. Hopefully, normal program will resume at some point. Maybe week 7 it will be back to normal, but we'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week, possibly. Bye.